Now to an Eyewitness News investigation. An alleged gang of sheriff's deputies within the LA County Sheriff's Department known as the Executioners. Their alleged tattoo depicts a skeleton in flames, an AK-47 and a Nazi-style helmet. Miriam Hernandez has a closer look at the pressure mounting on the department to open their files on any groups like this.
From inside the Compton Sheriff's Station, a deputy's claim filed with the county about an aggressive band of his cohorts allegedly in control. According to the claim, members are branded with a sinister logo,
which is a skeleton wearing a Nazi helmet with an AK-47 laughing,
and go by a sinister name, the Executioners, which according to the claim does not allow African American or female members. Deputy Art Gonzalez alleges the deputy gang is trampling on the rights of citizens and targeting him as a whistleblower.
Deputy Gonzalez, he's afraid for his safety right now, as he should be. This is a violent gang, violence, shootings, beatings.
Why y'all beating him?
Claims of excessive force and much more. And the timing.
Defund the police! Defund the police!
As community outcry demands systemic change, allegations in the filing claim that as many as 40% of Compton deputies are inked executioners or prospects. Rumblings reaching the sheriff.
Well, first of all, there is no gang of any deputies running any station right now. This matter has already been receiving very swift administrative action. We've already taken positive steps.
Pressure for change is intensifying. Professor Sean Kennedy at Loyola Law School releasing a 2-year study of deputy gangs, including the Executioners.
Often, the inking is attached to some kind of act of violence, including a shooting. It's the ultimate expression of your commitment to policing and your commitment to the deputy gang.
The complainant, Deputy Art Gonzalez, is a former U.S. Marine decorated for his service in Iraq, Afghanistan. Here in Compton, once praised for speedy action to save a 4-year-old boy shot in the head. The tipping point? Gonzalez says he witnessed a deputy executioner assaulting a fellow deputy. Gonzalez called a confidential tip line for internal affairs. To his shock, he says in his claim, the recording was intercepted.
Is within 48 hours, a recording of his supposedly anonymous call was leaked to the gang at the station.
He also reports that graffiti appeared at the station entrance.
Art is a rat, and that was placed at the keypad to get into the parking lot. So that's the most visible place in the entire station.
Compton, a flashpoint for high-profile crimes. Recently, the armored SUV of rapper YG in the middle of a shootout. And an 18-year-old security guard, Andres Guardado, chased by 2 Compton deputies, shot 5 times in the back. Evidence of the secret deputy pack emerged in the wrongful death shooting case of Dante Taylor. Compton deputy Samuel Aldama forced to reveal his tattoo, saying that about 20 deputies at the Compton station have the same ink.
Skeletons, which is a symbol of death. There are flames on Aldama's tattoo, which symbolizes he's emerging from hell. There is an AK-47.
The Taylor family attorney put up huge billboards looking for potential victims. Aldama denied the group is a gang. The county settled for $7 million.
This is all taxpayers' money. So, yes, the taxpayers should be very worried. Criminal defense lawyers are going to be lining up, making motions for new trials.
The Gonzalez claim alleges the executioners brokered a deal to amp up arrest numbers. Members of the public were stopped for minor infractions. According to the Loyola study, sheriffs over the last 5 decades have been unable or unwilling to dismantle the deputy gangs. And the money paid out to settle lawsuits when they are caught crossing the line.
The Inspector General gave me a ballpark estimate based on just public information that it's at least $50 million. I think in reality, it's got to be much, much more.
Villanueva says he is the first sheriff to impose a policy forbidding such groups. The Inspector General says today there is no evidence that the sheriff has pursued any house cleaning. The county's watchdogs want the sheriff's records on all deputy gangs and the names of all members. The sheriff says due process laws protect deputies from such disclosure. As for Gonzalez now, he wants compensation for the years he had planned to serve, but now cannot.
Once you run afoul of the department and you blow the whistle on illegal conduct within the LA County Sheriff's Department, your career is over.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Click the ABC7 logo to subscribe to our Eyewitness News YouTube channel.
Shalom. Welcome to another video. And as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachwadash. And next, double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety. To all you sincere Akim, keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. So this is going to be a reaction to the clip that I put in the introduction of this video. And this actually was from about 4 years ago, 2020, 2021. And you see that there was a gang within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. All right. And essentially this is just a display of the corruptness of this society, of this world, man. Okay, Esau's rulership, the ones who are supposed to protect and serve, all right, are out there deleting people, man. Okay, they're just as bad as the criminals and the crooks. Okay, and the reason why we see these kinds of things is because the wicked is ruling, all right, which is the reason why we, all right, as the hopeful elect, I have to be circumspect. Okay, we got to be careful how we move, where we go, what we do, who we hang out with, all right, because we're living in deadly serious times. So I wanted to bring this video out, okay, this article, and then also bring out some precepts. So let's go ahead and dive right into that. And Yahweh Rachazah, meaning Heavenly Father's will, is edifying to the elect. I'm going to start off here in Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doeth never go forth. For the wicked doeth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. Okay, because the wicked is ruling. That's the reason why we see evil things like this happening, all right, on a regular basis. All right, I mean, you know, people like to try to put the rose-colored glasses on, like Babylon the Great is just this great place and it's all perfect. But hey, the Lord is tearing down these lies and these strongholds, man. Okay, the world is starting to see Babylon the Great for what it really is and see how corrupt the people of the world really are. All right, this is Sirach 10 and 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Verse 2, here's the point. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Okay, and this really rings true with this particular clip, because why? This country, all right, is ran by a murderer, a crook, a thief. Okay, so his officers are going to be the same way. All right. Once again, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. All right, and these are literal officers of the law supposed to serve and protect. All right, and what are they out there doing? All right, deleting folks, probably robbing people, assaulting people. All right, and this is why, okay, this place in the Bible, all right, is known as the Valley of the Shadow of Death. Okay, this is Job 10 and 22. It says, a land of darkness, as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death. Okay, meaning death is always constantly around you. It says without any order, and where the light is as darkness. Okay, because the people of this society, they turned light into darkness and darkness for light. All right, so that's where we are now. We're in the valley of the shadow of death without any order. Everything is out of course. Okay, in this society. All right, let's get Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha chapter 9 and verse 13. It says, keep thee far from the man that hath the power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death, and if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. Okay, and that man that has the power to kill, the blessing of the sword, is really Esau. All right, and his deputies, like the LA County Sheriff's Department, all right, they also have the power to kill with impunity. Okay, and most of the time they're going to get away with it. So, once again, we got to walk circumspectly. All right, really try to stay away from anyone who's not in the truth. You really shouldn't be having any dealings with them in the first place. Okay, but you know, try to stay away from these police. You know, if you do come across them, as it says here, right, make no fault, lest they take away thy life presently. All right, remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. All right, Yahweh Shai, he told us that we are sheep in the midst of wolves. Okay, and that's the reason why, as I said earlier, that we must walk circumspectly. All right, Ephesians 5, and I'm going to get verses 15 to 16. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." Okay, and that's the time that we're in evil, deadly serious times. Okay, but we have Yahweh Bashem Yahushai with us. So I'm going to close out with this. Psalms chapter 23 and verse 1. "Yahweh is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake." Here's the point in verse 4. "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies," which is this truth. Okay, the spiritual food. Okay, this wine and this milk. Okay, it's free. It's a free gift that the Lord has prepared for us. He's prepared us a table in the presence of our enemies. "Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over." Okay, and the oil also represents the truth. All right, it says, "Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Yahweh forever." And that's our hope. All right, we're in this corrupt society, but it's not going to be much longer. Okay, this place is, soon getting ready to fall, and Yahweh righteous, I'll be part of that number that gets delivered and becomes of the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven. So that's it. I'm going to close it out. Something quick. Yahweh righteous, I was edified as always. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachodash. And until next time, Shalom, and abide the ball.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh.